So the key reason we'd use Google Apps to be able to monitor how students are going in a project is the whole concept that we can drop in and see what they're doing within a document at any point in time. So what I have here is a template that I've created for a media project I do in Year 11 at my school. And so what I've done here is I've created a document. It's about 15 to 20 pages long. It has a title page, and then on this title page I write in blue, this is the title page. Place a still image of your final project here. And then on the next page, this will be the page for the table of contents, and in blue, all the instructions for the students are written in blue text. Research. List at least 3, preferably more films that have influenced your project you want to create. Once again, the contents are in blue, and each page tells them what they can do. But because these templates are shareable and then easily monitored using Google Drive, that therefore as students write and add anything to this, I'm able to see where they're going. So I have a section on initial ideas. And obviously the projects that you manage, you'd have different concepts. I have a statement of intent. That's a HSC New South Wales thing, which clearly tells us what the project is going to be about, and a synopsis. Potentially a script that they could have here, placed within this section. The locations where they want to go, and anything else that they might need to know to be prepared for the shoot. A brief on the actors that they're going to be using. A storyboard. There's all these different sections. I want to show them all to you just so that you've got an idea what it is we require, and then you can think about what's the most suitable one for you. Here's equipment and technologies that you might need to use, cameras, and work from there. Production exercises. List all of the skills that you'll need to be able to execute your plan. For each skill, conduct a production exercise to show that you are able to achieve the desired skill. After the exercise, do an evaluation of how that went. It's recommended you should do between 3 and 5 production exercises in the prelim major project. And that's all about a science experiment where we go, I would like to be able to put some special effects when a soccer ball hits the wall. And so you go and do a short test and you see how it works, and then you document it in here. You write notes in what it is that you did, and then you put links to the videos on YouTube of your successes and hopefully your fails. Here's a very simple time plan template which they can use to record the tasks that they need to do, when they start, when they actually finished, and work from there. A financial plan. So here's some information I've given them on the hiring of equipment of us as a school, what it would actually cost to be able to do this sort of stuff. It's a fake budget. Evidence of safe working practice, so that we talk about how we keep both the equipment and the people safe during the shooting. And then a section for a final evaluation. Clearly tells us especially what you would need to do in the future if you were to make sure that you were to get this right in the HSC. And then there's a spot for the daily journal, and there'll be a couple of ways I'm going to talk about daily journals can be done today, but this is a good place where they just simply write what it is they did on each particular page. 16 pages for that there, and it was worked out as a pretty good strategy. So here is one that's already been filled in by a student from Innovara this year. She starts to write down the ideas. She shows us the videos which she's seen on YouTube, which has inspired the style of video she wants to make. Some initial ideas, a statement of intent of what she hopes to achieve, and then she's left me some notes here in the red. Read over both of these, and then the synopsis, the script. So this was where she planned the questions she was going to use, some locations, some B-roll footage, some actors, her storyboard, the equipment that she plans on using. So she used a drone and how that drone was going to be used, the iPad. See, sometimes it takes a little while for some of them to load each page. Using the GoPro, she's written down what it is that she achieved. The time plan, that's probably a little bit brief, but I know on the final documentation she submitted was a little bit more complex than that. Some financial plan. And as we get towards the end, there's actually not a huge amount of stuff, although she has written a fair bit in here. And that's a very powerful way to be able to get it from there. Now, just that you're aware, this particular project, while we use the Google Docs as a great way of presenting the information, this year we actually took it one step further, and they had to copy and paste that information into an iBook so that we'd be able to then see. So this is the iBook that was used in this one. And it shows us all the documentation. It's opened at the back of the book. So it's laid out a little bit nicer. It's got embedded movies now instead of what we had before. And that's a really effective way of showing us the planning and the thought processes that have gone behind it. We don't want to jump straight to this because there's no way I can look at this as it's being developed. That is where this template is so much more powerful for achieving that, because so long as it's been shared to me or it's been accessed via teacher dashboard or a whole lot of different ways that can be shared using a Google Doc, this is a really effective way of allowing me to just drop in and see where a student is up to. Now obviously it requires me to do that on a regular basis. If I'm not doing that, well then there's no point to it. But it is actually a really easy way that encourages me to do more dropping in, because I don't need to wait for the students to hand in some physical piece of paper. I can be able to look at it anytime I need to.